Donald Trump, for all the reasons I listed, should be up high single, low double digits. And yet, by his own unforced errors, he's giving this to Kamala Harris.
Well, he's making a lot of errors, no doubt about that. I think at this point in history, Donald Trump, I agree with you, should be up in the polls. The reason he's not is that after he was shot, people had an expectation that he would modify a little bit, and he has not. He picks fights, and the fights don't help him. They don't help the American people.
So that's Bill O'Reilly, and obviously not a big fan of him, although I don't hate the purple tie. It's a little bit weird that both of them decided to go with purple on that particular day. But look, he is right to point out that these are largely unforced errors. Donald Trump was always going to do this in hindsight, I guess. Maybe some of you saw it coming. He can't move past himself. He can't move past his failings. And as we said, it's Kamala Harris. You can think of probably at least 3 reasons that he is going to be triggered every single second from now until election day, just by her, hearing her voice, seeing her face, and it's gonna pull the darkest, deepest demons out of him. And then he's just going to blurt them out on stage with the NABJ or in interviews. He just can't help it. On True Social, he's gonna mispronounce her name, and he's gonna call her Kamala multiple times and say that she became a black person, and all of the weird stuff that Republicans do eat up. They love it. But rational, sane people that are not already in the Trump camp have no interest in this stuff.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
And so it is good to see them acknowledging it. Bill O'Reilly can acknowledge that this is all like utterly pointless wastes of time from him. But I will also remind everyone, as he did, there was this special moment that he was given. This truly miraculous thing happened where a conservative Republican tried to assassinate him and somehow just barely nicked his ear. It is, if they did not script it, it was not planned, don't believe any of the conspiracy theories, but if they could have, it could not have gone better for them. And it provided this opportunity. Maybe the only thing that maybe could have gotten him to stop being who he was and be who he needs to be to win the election. And he can't, he wasted it. As always, he's given everything and he wastes it. And now you can see it reflected in the polls. In the Real Clear Politics polling average, Kamala Harris is now taking the lead. She's up by 0.2, which is still very much a close race. Do not get too excited, but this is not individual polls now. This is the aggregate of polls, and it's multiple aggregates that she's moved up on. And you can see sort of the movement over the past couple of weeks in this, going from Trump being generally up to now she's being generally up and by larger numbers. And also, I just want to throw out New York. They'd been talking about that being in play because of Joe Biden. No, she's up by 12, she's up by 14. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about New York, which is certainly good news. And that's, by the way, whether it's a 2-person race, whether it's a 3-person race. So that is good news too. Look, it's still a campaign. Nothing is done until it's done. In the case of Donald Trump, he hasn't even lost once he's lost on election day. You still have to survive the coup. So everybody gird yourself, buckle up. This thing isn't over until inauguration. But the fact that he is so down compared to a few weeks ago, there's a lot of influencing factors, but most of it is his fault. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.